Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, traders and investors. This is Alex from MarketWise Asia. Thank you for watching this live stream once again. Today it is, as usual, a Monday evening, 16th of June 2025. We are halfway into the mid-June already. So if you can hear me loud and clear, please say a hi to me in the comments or in the chat, both on Facebook and also on YouTube as well. Just now I can see that I say good night, okay, to my daughter, because now is actually the school holiday, so she is sleeping slightly later. Okay, yeah, normally by the time during school days, right, she would have been asleep by now already. Hello Dave, hello Wailam, I think you also back already, right? Jason, Karun, okay, thank you so much. Okay, just say a hi to me and give me a subscribe. Follow me on YouTube if you haven't done so. Okay, subscribe to our channel. If you haven't liked our Facebook page, also do like as well. Okay, and in fact, I'm just back from Melbourne. In fact, I went Melbourne with Jay Toon as well from Swim Trading. Okay, yeah. So initially at the start of the trip, we were together. Then we we splitted way. He went to Great Ocean Road, where else me and my family go to the Phillip Island, and it's only nearing towards the end of the trip we actually met together again in the Melbourne CBD. So personally, I've been to Perth and Melbourne. So this is the first time I am in Melbourne. So I still prefer Perth lah. I still prefer Perth. Yeah, so Perth is lesser people, okay, CBD lesser people, and driving is a lot easier also lah. I'm not sure about you, okay, for those who have been to Melbourne and Perth, which one do you like more? So personally, I still prefer Perth lah, more chill, lesser people. So, but I think the highlight it is actually in Melbourne is actually I prefer to go to Phillip Island, as in I went to Yarra, I went to Phillip Island, okay, I went to the city, okay, as usual place South Melbourne Market, Queen's Victoria Market and such lah. Okay, Phillip Island is where I go and see the penguin parade. Where the little penguins will came from the ocean and go back to the island, okay, and walk back to find their children. Yeah, Darwin. Okay, but I also prefer Perth. Okay, yeah, same. While I'm saying Phillip Island, Darwin. Maybe can consider, but I think the weather is a bit too hot. I prefer to go into something that's colder. Okay, but yeah, come back to Singapore is damn hot, man. Okay, anyway, all right, let's kickstart this session right now. So today I think should be within 1 hour. Okay, let me just share my screen right now. Okay, so yeah, let me just adjust my screen. Okay, how comes like this? It is better? Oh, no. Nope. Okay, I think this is the one. Okay. All right. So let me start with the disclaimer first. Okay, as usual, whatever I share today, it is just for education purpose. It's not a recommendation to tell you what to buy or what to sell. Okay. And for those who are from SVI, Seasonal Vantage Insiders, I think I mentioned a number of times, right? Next Tuesday, it is our face-to-face in-person, okay, SVI Connect Night, which is our gathering. So by tomorrow, most likely tomorrow, okay, I will send out the registration email. So you do register for this event, okay? Okay. So for those who haven't joined SVI yet, okay, do consider joining. That will be in time, okay? All right, to join our face-to-face gathering. So normally I hold it 2 times a year, okay? Typically in June and December lah. Okay. Anyway, later I will share with you the details if you are interested. Okay. Anyway, all right. So do follow us on the social media channel. Once again, right now we are still smack in the June holiday lah. So I believe quite a number of you guys might be away. I mean that whether you are SVI or not, might be away from Singapore. So I think today's live will be also slightly lesser people. So you can see over there, this is the link over there. Okay, I'll post the link in the comments. So this is the link tree where you can find all our social media links over there: Facebook, Telegram, YouTube, TikTok, X, our homepage, and also the on-demand webinar. Especially if you haven't joined SVI, Seasonal Vantage Insiders, and you want to know how the seasonal trend, okay, can help you, okay, become the crystal ball of the market, okay. All right, so anyway, this is the webinar. You click on it, okay. You just this is on demand. You fill up the details, okay, and can watch the webinars. Anyway, later I'll talk about it later, okay. Not that important. All right, so and also this is our social media. I'll post the link also there. Hi Mary, okay. I'll post it here. So this is our social media, okay. In case you're watching this on a laptop or whatever it is, you want to scan the QR code, you can do that. Then you can know so-called access our social media channel and also access to my on-demand webinar, unlock the secret patterns hidden in the market. All right, so let's continue over there. So before I go into my deck, okay, so today, economic data for this coming week, okay? All right. How many of you miss me, okay, for the past 1 week while I was away in Melbourne, okay? Type me in the comments, okay? Make me happy, can or not, okay? Anyway, yeah, so this coming week over there, important week over there, okay? On Wednesday, 8:30 p.m., unemployment claims, okay? And then on Thursday, Singapore time, okay, that is actually Wednesday midnight, Singapore time, Thursday, 2 a.m., that will be the FOMC meeting. Okay, most likely, okay, there won't be any change in the interest rate. Later I will show you the data over there, the so-called the interest rate data. And also, I think the key thing is 2:30 p.m. when Jerome Powell, okay, is going to give the press conference, going to speak, okay. That will move the market. Hey, thank you, Ming Heng, Zach, okay, Adrian, Mintat, and MH. You really make me happy, even though that may be a lie. Okay, anyway, yeah, okay, so yeah, so this is the one. So let me just share with you over there. So this is the oh, my daughter is actually tapping on my door. Okay, hey Jenny, go and sleep. Okay, so this is the target rate over there. Okay, you can see the FOMC meeting over here. Okay, so 2 more days. Okay, you can see over there in June over here, there's a 99.9% chance it will stick at 4.25, 4.5%. So no change. So it is as good as 100%. Okay, so stick at 4.25, 4.5. So you can see over there in July, okay, most likely you will still stay at 4.25 and 4.5%, okay, 83%. It is only in September, then there's a good chance, okay, good chance that, okay, more than 56% chance that, the Fed will actually drop the interest rate, okay, by 0.25%, 25 basis point, okay, to 4% to 4.25% over there. So you have to wait until the September, okay? So until now, June, July, most likely the rates won't be changing now, okay? Just in case you want to know the rates over here, okay, the interest rate, okay? So yeah, so let me head over to my slide over there. So nowadays I will do the slide. So I think you guys say that you prefer to have a slide, right? Okay, so this is my slide. I believe that you guys can see. Okay, once again, welcome to my channel. If you haven't so-called like my channel, subscribe to my channel, whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, okay, do like our Facebook page, okay, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also do like if you are watching this, okay. It will just take you 1 second, but you also let YouTube and also Facebook algo know that you want to see more of our content in the future. Okay, so late night market talk with Alex, okay, as usual. So for this year, okay, until the June, okay, the first half of the year has passed by already. So it is a pretty strong start, okay, to zero, as in 2025, even though, okay, the tariff, okay, gave a scare in April, okay. So despite the tariff and the tax uncertainty, so generally the economic fundamentals still held up pretty well, okay, for the first half of the year in 2025 until now. All right, so for the GDP, okay, Quarter one was a little bit weaker but quarter two, okay, it is on pace to exceed 3%, okay, to about 3%, okay, about 3%, okay, all right. And then the household consumption, okay, is about 1.7%. So, and there's also the easing inflation. I think the numbers are a bit small over there, but not to worry, okay, just look at the chart over there. Quarter two, the GDP was pretty good, okay, all right. And the labor market is actually pretty resilient. So like I mentioned, right, okay, typically my life, okay, the first half, okay, I will talk about the macro updates, like, okay, so what's happening in the market and such, okay. Then second half, I will talk about the technical aspect, okay, looking at the charts, okay, of the market technical analysis and such, okay. So for the labor market, it is still pretty resilient, okay. Unemployment rate, okay, it is still about 4.4%, typically below 4.5%. So it is still remain low historically, okay. The wage growth, okay, the good news is it is above the inflation rate, okay. So it is outpacing inflation. So it's about 4%, 3.9%, okay. So which means that, okay, despite there is this so-called the slower hiring, okay, it is the unemployment rate is still remain stable, okay. There isn't a spike in the unemployment rate. So everything so far so good for now, the labor market. All right. So we can say that even though the US job growth has cooled, but the unemployment rate remains stable. So typically, okay, as long as the unemployment rate don't spike up, I won't show you the previous data, but typically previously you can see that when the unemployment rate spike up, okay, to above 5% and above, right, okay, it is like a warning that a recession will come sooner or later. But as of now, it is still less than 4.5%, which is a good sign over here, okay. And like I mentioned, right, the wages is outpacing inflation. So the inflation rate is about 2.4%, 2.5%. The wage growth, it is about 3.9%. So that is good, continue to beat inflation. Okay, it giving, okay, the employees, the consumers, okay, a real positive income, and that could support, okay, their spending. Okay, as long as you're earning, you have a job, you can spend, and that will stimulate the economy as well. Okay, so inflation remained contained. I think last week or so, the CPI data was out. So the May CPI was 2.4%. The May PPI, okay, producer index, okay, was 2.6%. Okay, we are still not within the Fed target at 2%. Okay, but approaching that. Okay, and inflation, it is not spiking for now, even though the tariff, okay, was in place. But that is the reason. I mean that because some of the companies, they have stockpiling things now, so the inflation still remain controlled for now. Okay, and like I mentioned, right, the tariff has yet to impact the prices. I mentioned just now, okay, earlier, inventory stockpiling. So the companies build up inventory, okay, during the 90-day pause. Okay, so that kept the goods and the prices stable. Okay, so that could help to delay the prices increase. All right. So, but okay, something that happened last weekend was the Middle East unrest, right? Where Israel attacked Iran. Okay, on the aspect of they say that they have the nuclear power and such. Okay, so Israel attacked Iran. Okay, I believe you guys watched the news or have read the news already, so I won't go into that. Okay, so oil prices jumped. Okay, 5 to 7% increase last week. Okay, something interesting happened, right? Okay. How many of you remember I talked about, okay, the seasonal trend of crude oil I think about 2 weeks ago? I said that during this period of time, okay, based on historical data, crude oil tends to go higher. You remember or not? If you remember, okay, just type yes in the comments or just type letter Y in the comments. Okay, before I continue. Can remember? You go back to about 2 weeks ago before I fly. Okay, can remember or not? Then coincidentally, okay, then this news came out. Somehow it is just very coincidental. Okay, I don't know why, okay. somehow it just matches the timing so correctly, okay, then led to an increase, okay, in the crude oil. In fact, not a jump, it is like, wow, a big spike. So, okay, personally, okay, I also have traded crude oil. I use the USO ETF, that's the oil ETF to trade. So that was a pretty nice so-called profit, okay, in terms of short-term trading, swing trade, okay, all right. But, okay, it had a really good spike. So, I actually asked my insiders, okay, SBI to take some profit off the table if you have, like, if really entered, okay, don't be so greedy. There will always be opportunity. So, when you think that, when you think that the war will cause the oil prices to spike, okay, most likely that is a short-term peak already, because, everybody knows about the war already, okay, it has already spiked. So if you entered right now, most likely you lose money, because if you take a look at the crude oil prices today, it has already gone down quite a bit, okay? And I won't talk about the seasonal trend, okay? If you actually, in SVI, I will talk about crude oil sooner or later, but I won't talk about the specific date. But crude oil, we are actually somewhere near the peak already, okay? All right. If you are in SVI, the roadmap, the same. You can go through the roadmap, you can see that, around where, okay, that is the peak, okay? All right, so I won't be very bullish on crude oil right now. You wanted to be bullish, that should be about 2 weeks ago, not now, okay? So typically, short-lived impact, okay? And for the US, okay, it has some insulation against the so-called the oil prices jump. So not as much so-called affected as last time, because right now US is actually a net exporter of oil. So the OPEC has actually lesser so-called influence right now on the crude oil already, because they want to want to control the oil prices and such. The USA will say, screw you, okay, I don't need your supply, okay? All right, so there's a lower energy dependence, okay, from the OPEC, the Middle East country. So that reduce the vulnerability, okay, to the shocks, okay, for the US. And I mentioned just now, the US so-called the inflation data was contained, okay, in the first half of 2025, okay. So it's going down to still sticky, about 2 point something plus percent, but we are within the 2% mark. There isn't a spike in the crude oil, and not crude oil, I mean the inflation rate over there, okay. So ever since then, okay, the market rebounded strongly. So February was the high, okay, in the so-called the index market high, okay. Of course, then on April, there was the Liberation Day, okay, where Trump said there's a tariff and such, that caused 20% drop in the market. At the point in time, okay, a lot of the so-called traders, investors, they were actually very bearish now. So but okay, if you remember, I look at the market, I look at the price action, I look at the sentiment, okay, and market internals, market breadth, and all these things, okay. I told you guys that, okay, I can't be guaranteed sure that it's going to be the bottom. I said that, I think that could be a potential bottom, okay. And I mentioned at the point in time, okay, the VIX was above the 3 standard deviation. Typically, when the VIX spike to more than 3 standard deviation, I say that, quote unquote, okay, it is actually a buy, okay, in a way, okay, okay, close eye and buy kind of thing. So after that, okay, the market rebounded actually pretty strongly, right? Okay, so that was what the market has done so far in the first half of the year, okay. All right, so that was what I meant, okay. The S&P has rebounded 20%, okay. It dropped 20%, has since rebounded. We are somewhere near the so-called back to the peak again. Not at the all-time high yet, but almost, okay. And of course, the next key catalyst, okay, will once again be between the US and the China, okay. These two countries always at loggerhead with each other. So there was a so-called a trade framework established, okay. I think there's some new agreement between these two nations, okay. Then there was this tariff reduction, okay, from 145% to 55% on the Chinese export, and there is also some mutual concession between US and China. So the China side will continue their rare earth export, okay, to the US, okay, while the US will continue to export things, okay, the jet engine parts, okay, to China as well. So that I mentioned, right, China will temporarily restore the rare earth export, and the US will ease restriction on the jet engines parts. So far, so good lah. I mean that, I think that, Trump also don't want to kind of, rock the boat again. I mean, China will say screw you one. So, they try to make some peaceful so-called arrangement. Okay, I think so far so good for now. Okay, and of course, previously Trump said that July 9 will be the deadline. I personally, I believe, after the 90-day pause has ended, I don't know what Trump will say again. Most likely, maybe, okay, Trump will say that, okay, there's some agreement being made, or he can continue the so-called the pause, or so-called postpone again to certain dates. That is possible, okay. All right. So yeah, I don't believe, it is going to be very so-called shocking news again, because if it is also shocking, I think the market will also sort of price into this already. As I mentioned many times, okay, since April, May, June, 3 months already. Every month, every day talk about tariff, also seen already. I mean, it's kind of, the market is already immune to the tariff already. And it has lesser impact on the market already. Okay, all right. So the worst case scenario, okay, maybe there's some moderate rise from a 2% level, okay, and the highest rate, I think it is already over already. So most likely it won't go to like 150%, 200%, that kind of thing now. So most likely, like I mentioned, there could be some agreement. So it is more of a balanced approach, okay, more measured trade policy moving forward. Okay. And like I mentioned, right, the tariff impact, it is lightly contained. Okay, like I mentioned just now, maybe there could be some moderate price increases, but the companies, okay, they're all prepared. They stockpile, so most likely the inflation rate won't so-called spike up, okay. Consumption could slow slightly, but not, as in, it is still pretty okay, and talking about all the production and all this thing, right? Okay, in fact, the US 70% it is within the service economy now, so not much impact. Okay, limiting the broader impact. Okay, all right. So I think yeah, so this is the one. Okay, so in the US, okay, not like China where manufacturing is still a good part of the economy. For the US, and in fact for a lot of this so-called advanced economy, okay, goods is just small part of the GDP. Like Singapore mainly is services, okay, services, okay, not like the goods production anymore. Okay, all right. So like as mentioned, companies, the market also immune to the tariff news already, they also sian already, so they already know what to expect from Trump. Okay, so most likely they might be continue to stockpile, okay, inventory stockpiling, and they also diversify from different other countries, okay, chain diversification and such, okay, all right. So the rest, companies may absorb costs rather than pass on to consumer and such. Okay, so outlook, okay, overall might be slower, but generally still positive. So some inflation from tariff expected, but it is just a modest price increase. Slower growth, but still remain positive. Okay, so the growth to stabilize at a sustainable pace. Okay, as of now, okay, no recession for now. I mean that, okay, downturn is not currently on the horizon. So all the fundamental data is pointing that there is no recession for now. Okay, and of course the geopolitical tension, okay, regarding the Israel-Iran conflict, okay, as of now it is still not the US daiji, okay, it's not their problem yet, I mean that, it's not informed, as it's not it was not involved, okay, so it's not like COVID or some other pandemic affect the US or the whole world. Okay, it is just within the Middle East. And a lot of time, okay, I think by now you should know, okay, war doesn't have a lot of impact on the market in the long run. In the short run, there could be some, knee-jerk reaction, but war, in fact, if the market does come down, it is actually a good buying point. Okay, so of course there was a knee-jerk reaction, the strike, all this, there was a risk of sentiment for a short time, okay, with the global equities pulling back, okay, a flight to US dollar, okay, and a spike of prices. But I think that will normalize in the weeks to come. Okay, so like I said, okay, the market, okay, it is a short-lived impact. Okay, the wars and such, okay, have a so-called a short-lived market impact. So US nowadays, regarding the oil and such, they are much more insulated right now. Okay, all right. So this is the so-called some data. Wars tend to have some short-lived impact on the stock market performance. So whatever it is, okay, the Kuwait, Iraq oil export, okay, Venezuela strike, Iraq, all the Middle East, okay, Libya, okay, all the Middle East country, okay, all right. Eventually, okay, the price of S&P 1 year later, okay, typically it goes up. So average, it is still up about 10% of the time. So don't worry about war, okay? All right. So policy outlook, okay, as of now, I think a bit small, cannot see from here, okay, never mind. So the tax bill, okay, it is still in focus, okay. All right, so with the horizon, the Fed, like I mentioned earlier, just now at the start of the live stream, okay, the Fed is still looking to cut the interest rate, okay. So expected 2 cuts in 2025, like I mentioned, right, in September, 4.5 to 4.25%, you cut 0.25%, okay, and then in so-called in October, you cut another 0.25%, so from 4.25% to 4%. So this is the market expectation. So typically, the Fed, Jerome Powell, okay, doesn't like to shock the market. So they always prep the market in advance. So no knee-jerk reaction. So the market already know in advance already, okay, how much the Fed it is going to cut the interest, unless there's new economic data coming in that, maybe the Fed need to cut more and such. But other than that, okay, the Fed doesn't like to give shocking news to the market. They always prep in advance. Okay. So reach the end of the slide. As of now, any question, okay? Any question regarding the macros updates and such? Let me take a sip of water. If everything is good, okay, just type okay in the comments before I continue the market. Okay, so this is the market. Okay, all right. So yeah, I think just now I wanted to mention, okay, it is this news over there. Just before I flew, okay, to Melbourne, okay, on the 6th of June. Yeah, I flew on the 6th of June. Okay, there was this news, okay, Singapore to block access to trading platform OctaFX and XM over unlicensed activity. Okay, if you take a look at the MAS site, okay, the Singapore Police Force SPF and FMAS, okay, they kind of a joint media release, press release that the blocking of unregulated overseas online trading platform over there. Okay, I'm not sure whether you know. So this OctaFX and XM, they are both foreign brokers. Okay, yeah, so they are not licensed. Okay, and they are actually on the MAS alert list. Okay, by the way, alert list doesn't mean that they are a scam. Okay, so I'm not here to tell you that they are a scam. Okay, I don't know. Okay, but maybe because I think they are too aggressive, okay, in trying to get accounts, okay, in Singapore, okay, to people get to deposit their money because they don't have the MAS license, okay, the capital license, okay. And if I'm not sure whether you realize or not, okay, if you watch TikTok a bit, okay, you realize that there are actually several influencers promoting OctaFX, okay. I think Ma Yituo is promoting OctaFX, and I think the Lucky Chan, okay, the one they're always with the Vietnamese girlfriend, that gentleman over there, okay? Yeah, I mean, they are funny guys, okay? I mean, they are really nice, as in good content creator, but I believe they know nothing about trading and investments. It is simply because, okay, Okta give them money, okay, good money to promote, they accepted, they just promote without knowing that actually they are on the MAS alert list, without knowing that they are unlicensed, okay? So the money is just good. So I'm just here to tell you that, okay, be careful of, you know, all this promotion from all these influencers, okay? I'm not saying that they are promoting scam, okay? Money is good, they just promote, okay? I can tell you that, okay? So be a little bit more discerning, okay, of what you believe and what you watch, okay? In fact, I can tell you that, in fact, XM approached MarketWise Asia before, okay? So, but I do my due diligence, I check about them, okay? And they are actually on the MAS alert list. So MarketWise Asia, you know, and I decided not to so-called take their money and promote this platform. But once again, I'm not saying that they are scam, okay? Okay, maybe they are not, but you know, we just don't prefer to promote them because they are not MAS licensed, okay? All right, yeah, so yeah, that's just the gist of it. All right, so ZZ is asking, will the weakness in dollar fuel US equities market boom? Then ZZ, okay, you should join the Seasonal Vantage Insiders. Then you have a roadmap, you know where the US dollar might be going. That is the closest to the crystal ball already, okay? All right. To be really awesome, I don't know. Okay, to be honest, the answer is I don't know. But I think I will take a look at the seasonal trend roadmap and see where it is coming, and then take a look at the price action first. Okay, before looking at the rest of the things. Okay, all right. So before I continue, okay, let's go through the seasonal trend and all this. Okay, so let's take a look at the market today. The market, it is actually very bullish. Okay, up 2%. So the war is like nothing much happened. Okay, in fact, I told my members in the SVI group over there, okay, that you know last week was actually the week before the options expiration week. In fact, this week, okay, it is the OPEX. OPEX, OPEX. It just stands for OPEX. Options expiration. So while I said Iran wants to negotiate now, I see. Okay, that could be the reason. Okay, that caused the market to spike up and such. So yeah. So this is the options expiration. So in case you wanted to know the date, okay, you can just go to. I think I mentioned quite a number of times. Very easy to remember using the bit.ly shortening link. You go to OPEX 2025. Okay, then you just head over to this PDF. It is directly from CBOE. Okay, you can see over here. Let me just zoom in over there. June 20th. Cannot highlight. Okay, June 20th. That is the option expiration week over there. So typically, the market tends to go higher heading into OPEX. But OPEX day itself is not that bullish. So typically, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you know, typically based on historical data, heading to OPEX, when the market is still in an uptrend, it tends to go higher. But okay, previously, okay, the market has went up a lot already. Okay, so in order for the market to continue to go higher in this week, OPEX week, okay, the market might need to have a pullback last week. You get what I'm trying to say or not? Okay, the market cannot like TT Chong one, you know, TTC cannot be like TT Chong go up non-stop all the way up. Okay, so my guess last week was that okay, the market might have some shallow pullback. That was what I mentioned to the SVI members. Okay, over here. Okay, seasonal market insiders over there. Okay, over there okay. All right, so so you can see over there. Last week, okay, the market go up a little bit. Okay, and then have a so-called the pullback. Again, you might say, oh, it is because of the Iran war and all this. I don't really care about all these fundamental news that come in. Okay, it is just a reason for the market to tell that, okay, the market is having a pullback because of this news, because of that news, okay? But somehow it just, everything will come together, okay? It might not be always be true, but somehow it would just do that, okay? I was expecting some shadow pullback, so the pullback actually came, have some slight pullback, okay? And this week, my personal view, I could be wrong, I repeat, I could be wrong. I think that the market might have some room to go higher, okay? Maybe until OPEX, until end of this week. Next week, okay, we will need to see again, okay? Have to look at the options flow, the data and such, okay? But based on what I see from the options flow, not only fans, options flow data as of now, I was looking at last week, so-called the options flow data. There are some put selling, as in there are some put buying, meaning that people are the smart money are expecting some pullback, but it is not very aggressively buy. So if the market really does have some pullback, maybe maybe the pullback might be just a shallow pullback. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so all in all, in short, okay, I think that the uptrend is still intact. Okay, my personal view, okay, it is still the smart money is still positioned for a rally. I mean that continue rise in the market. Okay, all right. So once again, I'm looking at the options flow over there. Once again, not only fans. Okay, so this is to be really honest. Okay, I'm still learning about that. Okay, it is not that easy to learn. I'm not talking about options, what to buy, vertical spread lah, iron condor lah, and such. Okay, you can see some guru promoting all this, how to trade options. I'm not interested in that. It is not this. I'm learning how to read the options flow. Okay, the options print and all this. Okay, there's a lot of data that's coming in. Okay, there's a lot of transaction. Okay, unusual activity, options flow and such. Okay, yeah, a lot of data. So need to analyze that kind of thing. Okay, all right. So yeah, so I'm still learning. So I could be wrong, but all in all, you can see that, okay, in terms of price action wise, okay, market, it is still in an uptrend. You can see over there for NASDAQ futures, okay, it is still, how come the cloud is not there? Okay, the cloud is there already. Okay, so you can see over there, it is NASDAQ, it is still above the CPR. The small cap, okay, slightly weaker, but it is still rebounding right now. But if you take a look at S&P cash index, okay, I was just taking a look at the spot gamma, the zero gamma level over there. Okay, if you can see over there, it is about 6,000. Okay, about 6,000. So 6,000 right now, price, it is still above 6,000. So all in all, I mean that if price is above the zero gamma level, you can expect that, the market will have stability. Okay, if price drop below 6,000, then you can expect maybe more volatility, more selling to come. So as of now, okay, I am still bullish. So looking to buy, it is easier than trying to always to short the market lah. Okay, once again, okay, they always the guru. I won't name names now. Okay, I think last 1 or 2 weeks, say that market will come down within the next 1 to 2 months, that kind of thing. Okay, my view is that while you always focus 1 to 2 months later, the market is trying to come down or what, why not focus your energy looking for opportunity to go long instead within this period of time? Okay, you get what I'm trying to say or not? Okay, all right. So my focus is that looking for opportunity to long is easier than trying to always to short the market. So no change. Okay, I'm still bullish in the market. So I believe that the S&P, we will actually I'm that we will hit the all-time high once again. Okay, when, I don't know. Okay, most likely we will hit the all-time high. I think there's a good chance that this year we will also surpass the all-time high. Okay, once again, okay, the market won't TTC won't TT Chiong like one straight line up with no pullback. There will always be a pullback, impulse move, okay, pullback, impulse move, pullback. I don't know, okay, maybe somewhere around there, then go higher, that kind of thing. So do expect correction, pullback along the way. But overall, my view is that, okay, the trend, it is still up. Any question so far? Any question so far? Clear so far? If you are clear, just type letter C in the comments. Some say today will crash big times. Yeah, you know, looking at the options flow, I mean that I can't be certain, but won't crash big time now. Okay, won't crash big time now. Okay, all right. The flow is still supporting the market. Okay. Market is up. Yeah, market is up. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay. So before I talk into these week trade ideas, there's one trade ideas I want to share with you. Okay. Any questions so far? If everything is okay, clear, right, just type letter C in the comments. Okay. So once again, before I continue, okay, that as I mentioned, right, next week, yeah, what last week? Next week, okay, I will have the face-to-face gathering, okay, with my seasonal vantage insiders. So if you haven't joined SVI, you wanted to try or you wanted to know more about seasonal trend, okay, how you can use seasonality data, seasonal trend to help you predict, quote unquote, predict the market. Okay, I encourage you, okay, to go to this link over there. Okay, link 3. I'll post it over there. Okay, and watch the webinar. Okay, and I will show you how seasonal trend worldwide, it is the key to predict the market like a move, so you know how to harness seasonal pattern for profitable trade, how you can make confident decision with data-driven insights, how you can outsmart market condition with predictive strategies as well. Okay, but in case you are already ready, okay, already ready to join, okay, maybe you have been watching my live stream for maybe a few weeks or many months, but you haven't joined yet, you can just straight to go to seasonalvantage.com. Okay, I'll post the link in the comments over there. All right, so once you head over there, Q2 it is out. So we are actually approaching to Q3. So I'm still in the midst of preparing the Q3 data over there. So you can scroll down. All the things that's inside, it is all here. Okay, all right, and you still get more stuff. Okay, so annual subscription is $799 per year. Okay, but I will give you a discount code, so you can subscribe to annual plan. Okay, this is already a discounted compared to the quarterly plan. But if you want to subscribe today, okay, you click on this. Okay, subscribe to annual plan. All right, have a coupon code. You just key in SVI 599. Okay, SVI 599. You click apply. All right, you will log in at 599. Okay, as long as you stay subscribed. First year, second year, third year, fourth year onwards, okay, it is still 599. Okay, it is also backed by a 30-day money back guarantee. So at any point in time within the 30 days, you are not interested, okay, you think that there's no value, okay, in all the data, in my content, in my master classes and everything, okay, you think that Alex is bullshit, the data is bullshit, feel free to email me and I'll give you a refund. Okay, all right, so this is my promise to you. Okay, so so in case you wanted to know again, once again, let me just head over here. I will post this seasonal vantage. Use coupon SVI. SVI 599. Okay, and then you'll be in time, okay, to join the in-person gathering that's happening next week, where I will share with you, okay, what will be the market outlook for the rest of the year, and of course, other so-called the seasonal data that I'm looking at right now and such. Okay, all right, so any questions so far? Okay, I think no question, right? So previously, okay, I talked about the crude oil thing 2 weeks ago. Euro, previously I talked about that, it went up already, okay? Crude oil, all these are based on data also, it also went up, okay? Treasury bonds, okay, I think was mentioned about 1 or 2 weeks ago, I mentioned treasury bonds, okay? So 12th of June to 21st of July. We are in the midst of this, okay, for the TLT. Okay, so far it is still holding on pretty well. Okay, you can see that. Okay, in fact, after I mentioned, since I think 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, okay, it went up a little bit higher, came down, has a pullback right now. Okay, right now it is still doing quite okay. So of course, you're still looking for entry to enter. Okay, this is the TLT. How many of you here are interested for the trade idea for this week and moving forward into maybe 1 or 2 weeks later lah? If you are interested, okay, all right, just help me, okay, like my Facebook post. Okay, right now I can see only 19 likes only. I think right now there are about 150 of you guys, 135. Okay, 135. I think spread across Facebook and also on YouTube. Okay, okay, can you help me like? I need to see at least 25 likes. Okay, on Facebook, then I will actually share the trade ideas for this week. Okay. I think another person asking about USD. Okay, I think I just now I mentioned. Okay, I need to check my seasonal trend data again. Okay, all right. So if you haven't joined, consider joining my SVI, where I can give you some of the insights and the roadmap where the dollar is heading, plus my personal insights, plus all the tools, indicators, and everything. Okay, and they come with a 30-day money back guarantee. Okay, all right. So if you ask me right now, USD, I can give you some insights lah, but you know, I still refer back to my seasonal data. Okay, so for the dollar index, okay, so right now it is still coming down lah. Okay, it is still coming down. So okay, as of now, okay, the dollar, it is in a downtrend. Okay, it is in a downtrend. So how high is the possibility? Okay, if you are just purely looking at trends, okay, USD is in a downtrend. Okay, it is in a downtrend. Okay, so in fact, that can actually boost the equities market as well. Okay, but if you're asking me when can it turn, you know, and such, I have no clue right now. Okay, I still need to refer back to my seasonal data because, yeah, I really look at the data myself, lah. Okay, and you know, I cannot just give you on the spot. I don't remember everything at one go, so I still refer back to my USD roadmap, okay, my index roadmap, my gold roadmap, okay, my TLT roadmap, okay, my Bitcoin roadmap, my Ethereum roadmap, and so far it has been working quite okay lah. I mean, I don't win every single trade, okay. I'll be totally honest with you. I don't win every single trade. There are losses. Sometimes my stop is a little bit too tight, okay. It gets stopped out. Never mind. I re-enter again, okay. I always focus on the reward to risk ratio, okay. As long as I can get 1.5 to 1, which means that every time I risk $100, for example, okay, I get back $150. As long as I have this reward to risk ratio 1.5, okay, I can lose 50% of the time. I can lose half of my trade, okay. I'm still profitable, okay. So I'm not worried about that, okay. Clear so far? Okay, I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much. I can see that there's 28 likes already, okay. So for this week, any idea what I'm looking at? Random guess lah. Okay, it is not stock, it is not oil, it is not euro, it is not treasury bonds. Okay, it is another commodity. Make some guess or not? Okay, make some guess or not? It is another commodity. Any guesses? Any guesses or not? Or you guys are just not interested? Not gold. Gold is a bit hard to trade right now, okay? Okay. So gold, the easy trade like I mentioned is gone already, okay? Now it's a bit difficult, okay? There's some conflict between the seasonal data and the price action. So I won't take gold right now, okay? Uranium has already moved up already, okay? Not silver, not nickel, okay? Metal, we will say. Hey, Wei Lun, okay, all right. It will be coming for the gathering, okay? So tomorrow I will send out the email. Let me prepare, but I just came back from Melbourne, so I haven't prepared a lot of things, okay? And also like prepare to give the beta access, the SVI board to you guys, okay? Not crypto, okay? The one, okay, that I'm going to share with you guys, it is actually a commodity that is ZC, okay? That is corn, okay? Jargon, corn, jargon, corn, okay? 玉蜀黍, 玉米, okay? Jargon, corn, okay? So corn. Let me just share with you first, okay? 20th of June to 13th of August, okay? For the past 12 years, for the past 12 years, okay? 92% of the time, it went up higher. So which means of the past 12 years, 11 years, it went up during this period. Okay. So if you actually take a look at corn right now, so we always go back to the original so-called price feed. That is the corn futures. Okay. Corn futures, it is actually ZC. Okay. ZC, you just search on ZC on TradingView, you can see already. Okay, right, you can see that it is in a downtrend. Okay, in a downtrend. Okay, all right, then you might say, hey Alex, it's like at a low right now already. Okay, true, we are like almost hitting the low already. The market might have some rebound and such, I don't know. Okay, the honest answer is that I don't know. Okay, but if you take a look, zoom out, take the weekly time frame. Okay, I'll do a naked chart. You do a weekly time frame. Okay, all right. Actually, we are not that low, right? Still got a lot of room to go down. Okay, from here to here, it's like, wow, you can still go up to 75% to that swing low over there. So don't tell me that it is like right now it is at a low right now. Yes, okay, relatively it is at a low again, but based on historical data, okay, the price potentially could move down even lower. Again, I don't know. Don't quote me. Say, Alex, say that no corn will go down. Seriously, I don't know. Okay, I'm not like some other guru where I know every single thing. I don't know. So I'm as frank as I can tell you. Okay, but this is what the seasonal trend data tells me. Okay, look at the price action. Okay, price action is telling me that, hey, you know, price is also below the CPR, all right, and such. Okay, and is there a trigger? There is also a trigger in a way that, you know, there is a wash and miss trigger and such. So whether it can go down lower, I don't know. Okay, I'm just telling you, corn based on historical data, it is like that. Okay, so you make your own decision. You make your own decision over there. Then you might be wondering, hey Alex, you know, I don't trade commodities there. I don't trade futures there. Okay, you can tell me that, you know, there are alternatives. Okay, you can actually trade, you know, corn CFD. So for example, some of the brokers that I have promoted before, we have sponsored, as in they sponsored our event before. For example, like IG, like forex.com, used to be called City Index and all this. Okay, they have corn CFD. You can do that. You can do that to trade corn, or if you wanted, you can trade the corn ETF as well. The corn ETF, it is actually corn, 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 under the Tilcrum corn so-called fund, corn. So it is like this. Okay, this is the corn fund. Okay, so it's a proxy. It is a proxy to the corn commodities itself, a proxy to the corn futures. So there are a few alternatives, either the CFD or the corn ETF. But then again, you might tell me, hey, Alex, no, I don't trade commodities. You know, I do not want to trade it. Okay, like I don't feel comfortable trading commodities. So I like corn is something that I don't trade. Okay, all right. This is always what I tell other people. Okay, you just remove the corn now. Okay, remove the corn. Okay, don't see corn. Okay, remove that. Okay, just treat it like a normal stock. Okay, corn. This is the ETF lah, but treat it like a normal stock. It's like downtrending stock lah. Okay, price wise, 20 plus, 23. It's like a normal stock price, right? Okay, so let's say if I show you this chart, okay, if I show you this chart without telling you what is it, you also won't know that this is actually corn, right? Commodities. So just treat it like a stock, like equities, and trade according to price action. Okay. If you wanted to trade, I mean, if you still feel uncomfortable, you know, then it is okay not to trade lah. No, but I always try to tell my also call my members insiders, that we try to go wherever the opportunities are. There are certain period of time where equities are very difficult to trade. Okay, then we don't trade equities. We try to trade other things that seems relatively easier to trade. That kind of thing. So the time, like, I think at the point in time, like, gold seems easier to trade. Crude oil seems easier to trade. Okay, bonds seems easier to trade, or forex seems easier to trade. Then we'll go where the opportunities are. Okay, any question so far? So this is corn again. I don't know whether you go down or no, but yeah. So it is up to you to decide. Okay, I'm not asking you to trade. This is just based on historical data. So if you join my seasonal vantage, insiders. So for example, over here, I will show you the actual data over there. Okay, I'm just showing some example. Okay, this is like, for example, April. Okay, you have a list of where are all the April stocks positive one. Okay, all right. So you zoom in, okay, to know exactly what stocks to trade. Okay, that for this quarter, there's April, May, and June. Okay, I won't show you the June one. Okay, but this is exactly what I say again. The open date, the start date. Okay, the winning percentage, how many years, what's the average profit in what sectors, in what industry. Okay, there's also the ETF as well. Okay, for example, aerospace and all this stuff. So you know exactly what industry, what sectors to look at every single week, okay, in advance, or you want to look at 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month later. You know what stocks to look at, what industry to look at, what ETF to look at. Okay, so there's always opportunity every single week. Okay, all right. So anyway, like I mentioned, if you are ready to join, okay, you can just head over to seasonalvantage.com. Use the coupon code SVI599 and you get a discount, okay, from $200 off, okay, and you stay subscribed to this price as long as you stay subscribed, okay. All right, you stick at 599 and comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. So my mom think, hey Alex, every single year I must pay. I mean, you can try for 1 year first, okay. If you think that it is not suitable for you, then after 1 year, then you cancel. You get what I'm trying to say or not? I believe now, okay, 599, okay, just snap a button, you will lose that 599 really with a trade. I mean, there are some people of you trade thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, you are willing that lose that money, okay. Ask you to subscribe to 599, you're not willing. I mean, you decide the reward to risk ratio, you decide. I mean, I won't force you, but I have about 300 subscribers, okay, and you can see some of these so-called member success. They trade certain things all to the moon, okay. There are a few not members here, but they say that all give ideas, okay. SPY, previously some of these, all these are member success where they have traded using the seasonal data over there, okay. All right, any questions so far? Okay, Melvin say, do we still follow the roadmap? Yes, we still follow. So if you actually look at the roadmap, June, we are somewhere around close already, up or down, okay, you check the roadmap. Okay, that's why I'm saying that I'm my bias towards the S&P. Okay, go and check the roadmap. It is the best if the roadmap and the price action is in line with each other. Then I have more confidence. Okay, if the market internals, market breadth, roadmap, okay, plus options flow is all in line together, then I have a higher confidence. Yes, still follow the roadmap for S&P. Even though by right, technically, in June this year, okay, the S&P, the index, it should be weaker in June, but for this coming, not this, I mean that for this year, June, it is not exactly that weak, okay, not exactly that weak. So there's some not so in line. So it is okay, but when it is in line, okay, then we want to go with the seasonal plus the price action. But price action always remains number one, okay? If, for example, seasonal trends that it is going to come down, but price action doesn't seem to say so, then we follow the price action, okay? Any other question so far? Okay, so far, previously, this one, spot on, this one, spot on, this one, still in play. Okay, still in play. I don't know yet. This one I also don't know yet. Okay, the corn I don't know yet. All right. Okay. Any other questions so far? I think that's the end of tonight's session. Almost the end already. So if you find value in tonight's session, okay, just type value in the comments or type letter V in the comments lah. Okay, so that I know that you enjoyed the sharing session tonight. Okay, so if you wanted to try SVI, Season Advantage Insiders, okay, do use the coupon code, okay, and you'll see me in person gathering next week, just in time. Okay. All right. So I really appreciate if you can also actually give me a like, subscribe, follow our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay. So with that, thank you so much. Okay. I will see you again next week on Monday again. Okay. And for those who are from SVI, I will see you next Tuesday in person. Most likely, I will send out the registration details tomorrow to your email. So check your email and also a spam folder in case it doesn't reach you. With that, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys again. Okay, thanks. Good night, 晚安, and bye-bye.